husband had rules. One of them, she was forbidden to speak to him for 1 full hour after he got home from work. Not a word, not a greeting, not even, "How was your day?" No sharing about her own day either. Just silence. This is Annie's story, and I'm telling it for her. Annie didn't see it all at once. She thought marriage meant connection, companionship. She thought it meant being someone's person. But Santino, her husband, he had an entirely different vision. One night, she built up the courage to make a small suggestion. "After your hour," she said, "maybe we could sit in the living room, have a glass of wine, talk a little." She wasn't asking for much. She didn't think so anyway. Just a few minutes of closeness. She had hoped he might say yes. He didn't. "No, I don't want to." And that was it, plain and simple. And that was the moment something inside Annie began to wither. Not because he refused her, but because she realized he didn't want just quiet. He wanted distance, disconnection. Not even her gentlest attempts at warmth were welcome. A few days later, Annie was outside watering the front hedge when a neighbor stopped by to chat. After a few pleasantries, the neighbor asked, "Well, how's Santino doing? I heard about that rough day at work he had with that customer." And Annie blinked. She didn't know what the neighbor was talking about. She smiled and nodded, faking her way through it. Honestly, she was kind of used to pretending by then. That evening at dinner, she carefully asked, "Is everything going okay at work, honey?" Someone mentioned a customer. Santino didn't even pause. "I don't want to talk about work," he said. "You should know that." And she did know, but now she knew something more. He had talked about it, just not with her. He had shared that part of himself about his day with someone else, a stranger, not his wife. She wasn't hurt about him not telling her about the customer. She was hurt because that's what she had longed for, to be let in, to be trusted, to be respected, to matter enough that he would tell her, share with her. Maybe you've lived that too, something like that. Maybe you've felt the sting of being shut out, not because they were private, but because they just chose not to include you. Maybe you were the one expected to make the dinner, raise a child, run the house, while they lived a life that you weren't even allowed to witness. If that's you, this one is for you. This one's for the spouse who lived in silence, for the one who was told not to speak until spoken to, for the one who smiled in front of the neighbors while pretending everything was just fine, for the one who begged for scraps of a connection and was told it was just too much, for the one who longed to be someone's person and instead was treated like an obligation, like a shadow, like someone just so easily ignored. You weren't asking for too much. You were asking for something real. You were asking just to matter. Annie stopped asking questions. For a while, she believed the lie that she just didn't matter. What she had to say didn't matter. But deep down, something quiet and strong was still alive in her. She would one day find out again her voice, her worth, her place in this world. And she would no longer ask for permission to exist. And maybe you're in that place too, somewhere between the silence and the rising. This one's for the silence you survived, for the conversations you never got to have, for the love you gave and never received. You deserved more. And you know what? You still do. I'm Kyle Hackley, attorney, author of Undercurrent, and the host of the Are You Annie podcast. Annie is a fictional character in my book, but her story is real. It may even be your story. Please know that I honor your truth. I want you to know you are stronger than you ever knew, that you are a warrior against narcissistic abuse. I want you to be tenacious and never give up in what you believe in. Thank you for always showing up. Thank you for being here. I know that you're here. Until next time, please know that I see you. I want you to take good care of yourself, and I will see you in the next episode. Thank you.